Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So excited to have all your lovely faces back. Oh my God. Oh, Shauna, I can see you today because I couldn't see you yesterday. Hello. And Lisa, so lovely. Lisa Hardy, 'cause we've got two Lisas in here. So lovely for you to join us live. I'm doing the whole looking up thing again today. Sarah's just joining. Hi, Luana. Hi, Margaret and Jenny. I'm so excited for us to get going again today. How are we all feeling after yesterday? Like, jot me a word, one word to describe how you're feeling after yesterday in the chat. Hi, Sarah. Because I feel like almost like it's a bit almost like I'm about to have a heart attack. Like, I feel like my chest is just like excited for everything that happened yesterday. I'm like, even myself, the things that have been happening like behind the scenes in my business, things have just been like going off and shooting off in a million different directions. It has just been amazing. Buzzing, great, excellent. Right, I am going to share my screen because as ever, sorry, that's all right, Sinead. Um, I I've packed loads in. I've forgotten what I was saying then. So as always, I've packed loads in. So here we go. Right. I'm going to make you bigger so I can actually see you all up here. Can you all see the shared screen? Just give me a thumbs up. That'd be amazing. Brilliant. Charlotte's here. Let me just have Charlotte jump in. And I'm also going to open the chat so I can see anything that comes in. Margaret, please don't worry. The fact that you're feeling sick and you have still come is says it all. That is commitment. I absolutely love it. Hi, Charlotte. Okay. So Nick's coming in as well. Got a full house today. Absolutely love this. Right. So first of all, welcome back. Okay, I'm saying that the screen hasn't changed in the slightest. Welcome back, my loves. I am like I've just said, I'm so excited for today. Oh, bear in mind. Oh, you're going to see a sneak peek now. Right. Computer is now officially working. Just give me a second. Right. Are we ready to take on day two? I already know we are because we've been like, let's go, let's go. Your homework has been amazing. Like, it cracks me up when I say homework, but you are all on it. And I really hope that everything we started to put into place yesterday has really like started sitting with you as well. So, yes, doing your storm boards, your she's the one boards, and starting to think about like what you want your business, your brand to feel like, the words representing it. But I'd also like, as this goes on, would love to know, and feel free to pop it in the chat because I'll look back at it shortly. Is like, have you had? You can just put a yes, maybe, I'm halfway there, whatever in the chat. Have you had a moment where you have started to bring out your edge and you've started to see that, yeah, I do have that. That could be my edge. Have you had those parts of you start to be activated? Yes. Yes. Love that, Nick. Brilliant. Okay. So that is the goal. Yes, yes, yes. Brilliant. So the competition is already reaching like these category of one levels. Okay. Now the leaderboard so far, and like I said in my voice note this morning, this is all up for change, is we have Katie in first place. She's not here live, I don't think, today, with 85 points. We've got Nikki with 75 points in second place. And we have got Lisa H in third place with 55 at the moment. So keep going. Some of you, I think it must have been Katie because she's in top place, posted and shared different variations of things on her stories 3 times yesterday. So that's how she's claimed all of those points so quickly. But let's up the ante a little bit. Okay, so for today, and this is really one for you because when you implement, I said this yesterday, you get the best results. That's why, like, implement is the fourth I in my authority framework. Okay. So I want you to really claim what we did yesterday. And there's so many different ways you could do this, but I basically want you to get on your Instagram or Facebook stories, whatever your social media of choice is. And I want you to claim your edge to your audience. Like that could be you saying, like, why your offer is the absolutely best place for your clients to be inside and claim it and tell them why. Or like why you are the coach, service provider, whatever your niche is, why you are the person that they need to be hiring right now. Like you could do it as a little reel. I've actually got a reel. I just post it. I might post it today and join the challenge. And it was, I got an example and it's like, that's why you should hire me. So it's just, you should, I want you to claim it. Even if you have only started activating it in yourself, it could be like, I had a realization today. I am the best XXX you're ever going to hire because duh, duh, duh. I really want you to claim it. Okay, there's a typo there from the teacher. But your dream clients are going to love that and they are going to start paying more attention just from that moment. And if you do that today and you tag me so I know you've done it, you get an additional 50 points. 50 points. And not only that, but it is going to be brilliant for you, your business, and your audience. Okay. And just remember as we go through, if you want to take pictures like your favorite slides, anything like that, you can do that and share those as many times as you like. Okay, so let's properly crack on with this today. You ready? Come on, let's get this momentum going. Yes, 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 in the chat. Okay, so these slides are really slow catching up today. Yesterday, we activated the She's the One effect, which was your authority, your presence, how I like to call it, like your category of one storm energy, where you're just like, go, 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 go. Lisa, your picture then was category of one storm energy. It was just like flashing. But authority on its own isn't enough. That's why this is like She's the Effect was day one. But you can't just have your edge and your authority and claim it and own it and then expect everything to give you this life of freedom, clients, the income, everything that that brings. And that is why that was day one. It is your foundation. But day two is all about innovating your way to effortless income. And innovating, it's that creative part. It's learning how to think differently, create differently, innovate differently. So that you can, and this isn't just about your offers, but you can create like your offer ecosystem, which is basically all the ways into your highest level offer or all the small ways that people can work with you. And you make that as fresh, exciting, as refreshing, like as different, so that it's impossible to compare and so that you constantly stay in demand all year, like without having to constantly reinvent the wheel. That's where like the effortless part comes in. Okay. And I'm going to show you it's not just in your offer creation or not even creation, like tweaking the existing offers that you've got. It's also in the way you do things when people are already in your world. So for your client experience, and also how you then market yourself. You can be innovative in those ways. So we're really looking at how you can be innovative in all the different ways. Just admitting Katie there. Somebody can tell her in the chat she's in first place if they want. Okay, so let's get started. If my slides want to actually play ball and catch up with me a moment. Hello. There with, because I can't remember. Oh, there you go. Right. So most businesses get stuck when they create a high ticket ecosystem that actually goes on to sell, because what they end up doing is they think that more equals better. Okay, but it isn't. And I can tell you that now because I've been here. I've offered more and more and more and more and done more and more and more and more, and it doesn't equal better. Okay. Most people also think that like doing more equals better. So if you are busy behind the scenes, that means like you're giving a great exceptional service to your existing clients. They also think that like great value means having more features in your offer. You know, like they get one-to-ones, they get Slack, they get 3 days a week spent personal in a spa with you, they get X, they get Y, they get this, they get that. It's like it's not. That is not what creates like a sellable over and over and over again offer either. And very similarly, it is not about what is the matter with my slides today? High ticket. So your highest ticket offer isn't about having more access to you. So because it costs more money, therefore they get more time with you. Because premium comes from how you innovate and the experience as a whole, not how many hours like they're getting to spend with you in their diary. And I'm not saying you don't have to spend any time with your high ticket clients, but I'm saying it the premiumness, the reason premium clients will sign up to work with you comes from the innovation behind what you are going to give them. So it's not more access to you, it's not more bonuses, it's not more discounts or hours spent working, it's more innovation. Okay. And this is why so many offers blend in and are forgettable because they don't have that level of innovation and creativity. It is the same as every other offer that they've seen out there. And if, let's just take business coaches, if two business coaches have exactly the same offer and they're similar, they've both got an edge, they're similar, you're not going to be looking in that field anymore. You're going to go somewhere else where like there's something that's different or engaging and you think, oh, I haven't seen that before, or that sounds really intriguing. That's why different and being innovative makes a massive difference. Okay, because you can be good, but like if you've got, and this is the standard, 12-week program, group calls, Telegram access, you've got a lifetime portal, a list of bonuses, that is good. They can get an outcome, but they've seen it 100 times before. And you want something that is going to stand out. Okay. So, but also, I just want to put a caveat with that. You're not just adding something to stand out and it doesn't add to the experience. It still needs to add to the experience. So, what you're likely still doing, and I know this was me for a long time at the beginning, is you pad things out, you add more, you're doing what you heard that you should have in an offer or what you see other people have in an offer. And what you're ending up doing is you're still proving yourself instead of being innovative. So proving yourself comes in so many different ways. Okay. I actually had a one-to-one call before our call today, and we literally talked about how if we could burn her entire offer to the ground, which by the way is full and has a wait list, so there's nothing wrong with her offer. But if we could burn it to the ground, what would she do? Would she do anything differently? Or would she do it exactly as she's got it? Is there like a more creative way for her to have created X result? And we really like looked at her offer in that way. And we've got some great ideas, but it's great as it is. But we're always innovating because the market doesn't reward the highest worker. The hardest worker. It rewards the most innovative thinker. And that is because you are always trying to like stay ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. And that when someone says, oh, that offer is really valuable, it's high ticket, it's about that client being able to get the result that you offer in the quickest. Now, when I say quick, I don't mean like it just has to happen overnight, but like in the quickest, most enjoyable, exciting way. Because no one wants to be bloody bored. They want to like be activated and think, in this offer, I know what she's like as a person because I've seen the she's the one effect. Now I'm seeing how she thinks and how her offers are put together. It's really exciting. That's going to be different to other things that are out there, and it's going to be impossible for them to compare you to other people. So you can see how these things like stack on top of each other. Okay. So bear with. If the rest of the industry is going left, well, I want you to be thinking right. Okay. Now, that does not mean you cannot do the same things. Of course, you can. But what else can you do? Like, if that's how everyone else is doing it, how could I do it? Literally, just ask yourself that question. It's going to open up some like sparks of um, creativity and you being innovative. Just asking you yourself that question is you being innovative and is you being the type of leader that your dream clients want to work with. Could I do this differently? How could I make this more exciting? How could I like surprise my clients even more than I already do inside an offer that they wouldn't expect it? Because you can do this with existing clients as well. Okay. So it's not the offer that makes you stand out and be unforgettable. It's not the name of the offer. It's not what's included. It's also your way of leading linked to like your she's the one effect. So before we get on to looking how you create an offer, I want you to think about, and I'm going to show you in your existing offers, how you innovate. So one of the ways, so it's not the amount of proximity to you, but it's the quality of the proximity that your clients have to you. So I can hand on heart, confidently claiming it, convicted, say that in my high ticket offers, I give the best level of proximity that I have ever seen. And I can say that because I've been in so many one-to-ones, I've been in so many masterminds, I've been in memberships, I've been in like different groups over the last 4 years. One of my core values, and I've got five, but one of them is educational excellence. Now, this doesn't mean just like teaching, but it's about I want to have this standard of excellence in terms of like how I'm serving my clients, how I'm leading them, how I'm teaching them, how I'm constantly moving them forwards. And because I have that as one of my values, when my highest ticket clients are in proximity to me, I that shapes how I like deliver when I'm working with them, whether it's in a call or in Voxer or in Slack. And that's also why clients choose to re-sign and again and again and again. My longest standing client that I'm still working with now is 3 years in. And it's not because she hasn't seen results, but she sees the value and it's constantly changing and innovative. And this is what's really important when it comes to innovating. It is not always about thinking about something new. It's about making what you already have the best it can possibly be. Okay, because you don't have to be on a hamster wheel of chasing new clients all of the time. You can be making what you have the best possible experience, and clients might not want to ever leave you. Okay, so quality of proximity to you is really important. Also, seeing that innovation in action. So for me, how I do this is when I see a gap, I fill it. So there were lots of ways in my mastermind where, oh, how do you do this? Like, have you got an example of a template for emails or open cart sequence or like the types of subject lines that I can put on my emails to guarantee their open rate and their click-through rate and all things like this. So I created like a mastermind directory. So this is like five pages. It's got this one is to do with visibility and authority. It's all the types of resources I've created, not necessarily at the very beginning, but as I see a need and a gap for them. And they're either documents or their videos or their trainings or their whatever and that I create those trainings in real time. That's being innovative. It's creating a resource for your client or sending them a visualization or something because you think that's really going to help to move them forwards. So it's that innovation thinking ahead. And again, it's that behind the scenes insights and being the kind of like authentic coach or service provider that can give that like full transparency in ways that are going to help your niche and your ideal client. So an example is I briefly mentioned trial reels to you yesterday, and yes, it's a trend and followers and all the rest of it, but I was like learning about this so that I could give an update and insight to my clients and my masterminders. Okay, and it's getting great results. So it's innovating to always be moving your existing clients forward as well. And it's staying ahead of the curve with you being a forward thinker. So, pretty much exactly what I just said. But like, for me, I don't just respond. And there are lots of coaches, mentors, your service providers out there that will wait for you to like ask a question before they come back because they're not like in it necessarily. But I'll be there messaging clients ideas before like they've even thought of them in their business. I was like, oh, how many times I've sent a message? I've just got out of the bath and I had this idea for you. Or I'm testing different platforms and strategies and then I do a training for them. Or I'm bringing them little breakdowns or shortcuts that are going to like save them work because I've done the work for them. So that's not about me doing more, but it's being creative in what they get from me. Yes, they get X amount of calls and they get Slack and they get one-to-ones and X, Y, and Z, but there's not that many people who will go the extra mile in terms of really being in it with them. Like when I say I am in someone's business with them, I am in their business with them. So it's things that you can do like that to make to be innovative with your existing clients. Okay, because that is literally worth its weight in gold. It's innovation in action, but it's also leadership. Okay. Thank you, Nick. Um, and it's why my clients send messages like Nick has just said in the chat and why they stay for so long. But it's also how you get paid without trying because the quality that you give your existing clients that can never be underestimated. And I really don't think enough people talk about that. So now let's pair that with how you innovate your offer ecosystem and how you build that up. So being the one is great, like I've said, but you have to make sure your offer doesn't just look like a carbon copy of somebody else's, because that's when you're going to just blend it. So the three things that we want to like be thinking about are like creating excitement for it, differentiating yourself in different ways, and owning those things when you're marketing so you can get those out there. Everything I've just mentioned on the last couple of slides, for example, and you want to make it unmissable. Now, it's all well and good me just saying those things to you, but like you said, I don't just like telling you the what you've got to do. I want to show you how. So, some of you might not actually just show me a raise of hands. Who knows who Alex Hormozy is? Yes or a no? Okay, not everyone. Brilliant. So, first of all, if you go on his page, you'll be like, so all of you will go on his page. Now I've said his name, but I want you to go on his page and find out who he is. I've literally got his book somewhere. Don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. But basically, you might have heard of the app Skool with a K. He started that. He's also done 50 million other things. I did a reel on this last week or the week before. So he had 100. He broke a world record and he made something like $80 million in the space of, it was less than 48 hours from this book launch. So the $100 million leads is a book, but he didn't just sell a book, because can you imagine a book like on its day of being released making that much money? He is a frigging genius. And this is what I mean about like staying ahead of the trends. Okay. So basically, this is him. He always wears like a plaster over his nose, but it's not a plaster, it's something to do with breathing. Okay. He's not like Nelly. This was just a screenshot of the reel I did. So what he did is he literally innovated on every single level. Okay. So instead of just, he knew he was writing this book. He didn't just put out, here's my new book, it's going to make you $100 million, blah, 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 blah. He basically reframed it as an opportunity to be part of something. So this isn't just another book launch. This is, we're going to break a world record. That's what he was telling his audience for weeks and weeks, even months and months in advance. Okay. We are going to break a world record. You have a chance to be in on this. Sign up now. And when they purchased it on the day or in pre-order, something like that, I can't remember every detail, they were then part of creating this experience, something that they could talk about forever. Okay. And it worked. But if he had just gone about, I'm launching a new book, it wouldn't have had the same impact. So it was innovative, it was different. He also leveraged his audience to sell for him. So it was like for every book that you set, for every, you sent them all a link when they bought it. And for every book that gets bought through your link, X amount of money goes to, and it was some kind of charity or whatever. So he had his audience selling for him. Okay. He did less while his buyers were actually his marketers. Very clever. And obviously, we're talking about this on a grand scale, but he had like insane value. Like if they bought the book, they also got templates, they got swipe files, they got like bonuses. It was an absolute no-brainer. Like to buy the book, all of that stuff was worth more. And he made the launch itself like an unmissable event. The excitement, like I said, he linked it to breaking a world record. He did all of these different things. There was massive FOMO because no one wanted to miss out. Okay, so he is the like up here example that we then need to reverse engineer to be like, okay, so how can we do this for our offers? How can we be innovative in this same way and maybe not make 80 million pounds in a day? I mean, it'd be good, but to make it feel, to make it look so effortless that the selling just happens. We're getting paid without try it, basically. Okay, so I've got a whole system broken down. I want you to think for a moment on where you might still be doing things the normal way, the way everyone else is doing them. When it comes to offers, when it comes to like launching an offer, when it becomes to all the parts of that funnel, like a freebie or a lead magnet, where might you still be doing things the normal, expected way, the in the box way? I want you to have a little think about that. And it might just be screenshot or take a picture and come back to that. Because it's not that you have to change absolutely everything, but there might be little things that we can tweak and change. Okay. So, one of the things, one of the reasons why people continue to blend in and they don't stand out and they don't get paid without trying is because they don't allow themselves to see things any other way. It's like, well, this is the way it's done. Okay. And I'll hold my hand up. I was like this for ages. Okay. Well, this is the way it's done. This is the formula. This is the word formula in itself is so bloody boring. Okay. We want to be able to think outside the box. And if you want innovation to start equaling more income, there are like these 4 offer magnet levers that I talk you through. And I know a couple of you in here are in my membership. So I've talked about the offer magnet before, but I'm taking it another step further this time. So the 4 offer magnet levers are, we've got, and this all comes from a version of Alex Hormozi as well. So we've got the dream outcome, we've got the perceived likelihood of success, we've got effort and sacrifice, and we've got time delay. And what this basically means is for an offer to be absolutely magnetic and for it to be the easiest yes someone has ever made, we need to make sure we have dialed in, pulled the lever on all 4 of these things. So is the dream outcome absolutely clear and exactly what they want? I'm going to go a bit more in detail on this. Is that when they see you talking about your offer, what is the perceived likelihood that they're going to succeed in this? Have you made it so clear? Are there like different things that you've put in that they can see? Oh, if I do this, this is a no-brainer because I'm going to be successful. I'm going to see the kind of success, results, transformation that she's talking about, rather than have that, but is this going to work for me? Okay. Are we limiting the amount of effort and sacrifice they think this is going to take? Because nobody wants to buy an offer that feels like it's going to be really hard work, loads of effort. They're going to have to sacrifice time, energy, whatever it might be. So we really need to think about effort and sacrifice. And time delay is all about if you've got something like a 3-month, a 6-month, a 4-month offer, okay, and you've got this dream outcome, we don't want them to only think that they can have that outcome and they've got to wait 4 months for it. So, is there a way that you can like get them to see results in a shorter time frame? Can they see like a mini result within the first week, within the first 3 weeks? And then you can talk about that, because when there's some kind of time delay and they think, oh, I can start seeing X in a couple of weeks, days, whatever it might be, that's going to help the magnetism of your offer. Okay. So those are the 4 things. So I've broken down each one for you. So, and you can screenshot these as they all come up. Dream outcome on the magnet. Now, the ways that we can innovate for the dream outcome is we can make the outcome sound, and this doesn't mean you're making it you're being inauthentic, but we really like big the outcome up, like what it's going to mean for their lives. Get bolder, get minute in the detail, make it as desirable as possible. Basically, you're selling the destination that they're going to, and you're not selling the plane ride, which is like how you're going to get them there. Okay. You're not talking about, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. When we talk about the dream outcome, we are dialing up the destination of what that is going to look like in their life. Because clients don't buy the modules or the calls or the whatever. They buy the life after the modules and the calls. Okay. Because the plane ride, to keep with my analogy, is not a dream outcome. That's your delivery plan. That's like nobody really cares. I've said this phrase so many times. Nobody really, really cares how many calls are involved. They care if you can get them to where they want to be. Okay. And if I give you a real life example of this, like Peloton, however you say it, the bike. Okay. So they didn't sell an exercise bike. There's like a million bloody exercise bikes. They sold that this is like your personal spin studio at home. So you never need to leave the house. Okay. Alex Hormozi didn't just sell a book. He sold the experience of being part of like this record-breaking event, which can also have you making your own $100 million, pounds, whatever it was. Okay. So we really want to get innovative and detailed and specific with that dream outcome. So for you to now start implementing this, the question that you need to ask yourself, possibly to find the gap and then take action, is what's the real dream outcome of your offer? Okay, so this is an example I use all the time. If you were like a confidence coach, it's not more confidence. It's more confidence to do what? And then when they've done that, how are they going to feel? What's their life going to look like? How are things going to be different? Okay. And then have you made that dream outcome tangible, exciting, specific? All right. So that's how we innovate dream outcome. When it comes to perceived likelihood of success, so what you want to be innovating and thinking about here when you're designing and or going back to and looking at your offers is we want to be able to increase the certainty of success. So is there a way that you can increase that certainty? So have you got some like IP is like intellectual property frameworks? So frameworks that are like just yours. That I take you through this framework because I know it works because of this. Have you got some unique methodologies that you use? Have you got like social proof, fresh case studies, anything like that? Because again, when it comes to an offer, an effortless income, people don't buy if they doubt that it's going to work for them. If they're thinking, will this actually work for me? If they don't believe they can succeed, then they're either going to be on the fence or they're not going to buy at all. So your job is to make success feel inevitable to them. Okay. So it could be something like, well, I've given you some examples here, but if I'm trying to think of a brand, so think Weight Watchers, for example, okay? They don't just say you come here and you lose weight. They innovated like how they did their proof. And I used to do Weight Watchers a long time ago. That's why I know. So they had like a point system. The point system was easy. So it actually ticked the effort and sacrifice one. It was trackable. It was believable. You could see the success of other people. Okay. So to Identify your gap and then take action. Would your clients be convinced they can succeed in your offer right now? And that's a real telling question to ask yourself. Okay, you know, but would your clients be convinced based on what they currently know, based on your marketing, your content? And then where can you innovate that like surety, that certainty in the offer? So that's going to bring up so much for you. And it's going to be quite exciting. I get excited by all these things, but it is going to be exciting. Okay, so then time delay. This is as simple as it says on the tin. So you want to be able to collapse the delay between starting with you and starting to see results. So if you can add any quick wins that build that belief faster. So the best example for this is Couch to 5K. Okay, so you know the app Couch to 5K. Couch to 5K doesn't promise the person they're going to be able to run a marathon in like 5 weeks or whatever, or you're going to be able to run your 5K straight away. But what it promises and what it sells you is you're going to be running 60 seconds tomorrow. And you've never been able to do that before. And then the day after, or 3 days later, you're going to be able to run like 5 minutes without stopping. Okay, you're going to be feeling wins as you go along. And that's the kind of thing that you want to be able to try and get across. So, what quick win? I hate the phrase quick win because it sounds so like icky. But what quick win could you like bake into your offer so clients start to feel again on like week one or before? So this could be something like, so I um, offer like an onboarding call. So when somebody starts working with me now, I will have done a whole piece of work before that call and started finding some blind spots and some gaps. And I will then give to that person in that very first call before they've even like started in their program, right, this is what I want you to start doing right now. So instantly they've got actions, they can start putting those things to work and they think, oh, okay, I'm moving forward. It's a quick win. Okay, something you didn't have before, basically. And then the fourth part of the magnet is effort and sacrifice. So, how can you make the path feel as easy, as light, as quick, as fun, and as seamless to say yes to? So, Amazon Prime, okay, that is, there's no effort. You go on your phone, you press, it's at your door the next day. It feels effortless. It's like one click, it's next day delivery. So, if you are there ways that you are subconsciously talking about your offer, whether it's in discovery calls or whether it's in your content and your marketing, that actually are making it sound hard or sound like it's going to take a long time and it won't always be easy, little things like that. Now it won't always be easy, but you don't want to be fake to your clients ever, but are you also making it sound like fun and exciting and with me, like this is going to be the easiest thing possible because XYZ. So it's, other coaches would, you know get you doing this. I get you doing this because I know this is the best path to follow and you're going to see the best possible success. So there's easy ways to bring that in, but you need to be aware of that. It's like, this is all innovation is. It's just thinking deeply, more deeply than you might be now, no offense, and really starting to get a bit more creative. Okay. So that's the offer magnet. So we really want to be like dialing into these. And what I want you to do is I want you to audit your main current offer or an offer you're currently working on or thinking about against all four of these levers. So which one do you think is the weakest right now? And where could you innovate better? Like you might already have some ideas from what I've just like talked through with you. So where could you innovate different? Where could you innovate better and be different? Just pop in the chat for me as I'm carrying on and I'll take a look at if already you've got an idea of like something you could do. And you can put the idea, you can write, yes, I've got whatever you want, but just so I can kind of get an idea. Okay, so That's the offer. Now we're going to zoom out. Because, like I said, innovation isn't just about your offer, it's about how you think across your whole business. And this is where things then start to feel easier. So there's four innovation lenses that we're going to look through, and that you need to always think, okay, I can innovate in that way, and this way, and this way, and this way, because there's four. So the first thing is innovate in your package innovation, offer, basically, very much what we just talked about. So can you deliver the same transformation that other people might offer or that you currently do, but in a bolder way, in a fresher way, in a way that's a little bit different? So like the example I've put, like taxis always got you from A to B, but Uber, exactly the same thing, but it's just a different experience, and they've made it a bit easier. Okay. It's because clients buy the experience of getting to their desired outcome as well as the outcome. They buy the experience, not the like features and everything else. So this could be something like, okay, I give you, let's just go with a standard 12 weeks one-to-one, you have X amount of calls, this is the transformation you get. But to make sure you like get the best possible transformation, and I am like with you in this, and it's constant, it's very you led. There's also going to be like a day where we meet up in person. And on that, it's going to be dependent, obviously, on your niche. But on that day, we're going to do X, Y, Z. It's just something else to make it a bit different. Or one of my clients before, who was like in the fitness fat loss industry, she did her normal coaching. Okay, but a part of her package was that, well, there were two things. She had, although it was one-to-one, she had community events and meetups every so often, which just was a bit different because no other coaches were necessarily doing that in her niche. And she also, she had a at the towards the end, they got included like a fitness photo shoot, which was just gave them a reason to like really work on this, but also was something really different. So she just innovated her package ever so slightly. Can you see that? Okay, so how could you innovate your package slightly? Then, if the slides want to catch up, your messaging. Now, we're obviously going to go through this in more depth tomorrow, but how can you position in your messaging your offer so it's one of a kind? Okay. Apple, just another phone. I say just another phone. It's not just another phone because they positioned it as, by buying an iPhone, this was in the beginning. They still do it now, to be honest. By buying an iPhone, you are ahead of the game. You have got a certain status to you. It's the best design, it's the best quality, it's the best technology. It's about thinking differently. So it's almost like they're changing your identity of a person, that you are this creative, ahead of the game, technological person if you buy an Apple product. Okay. That's part of their messaging. So this is kind of what makes your offers impossible to be able to compare with somebody else that's doing the same thing to you, is putting them in a category of their own. So you could take what I do, and there's a million business coaches, okay? But I say, and I claim this, no one does it quite like me. And what I do, because I think this is so important, is I bring out your authority edge, your she's the one effect, your category of oneness. And yes, we go into strategy and we do tons of work on content and whatever, but that is what makes it different, because your identity leads. Now, there will be other coaches who lead with strategy. There'll be other business coaches who lead with content. So it's not rocket science. It's not like having to think of something that's never been done. This links to your she's the one effect as well. But like, how can you position your offer so it's incomparable to anything else that's out there? Okay. And then linked to that is, just need a little sip of my water, is your marketing innovation. Okay. Because when you show up, that proves your authority every single day in the way that you show up. We talked about this yesterday. Katie, you asked the question about like, how do you show your values? And it is about you showing up as that. implying it all of the time because people see it. Okay. It's creating a buzz around what you do and what you have. It's doing the whole like, I'll give you a perfect example. What I am doing with the competition with you all, that's marketing innovation. Okay. Because I am like creating a buzz around get paid without trying because you're all doing homework and you're all sharing it on your stories. And I'm going on there and saying, like, what's happened today? It is just being a little bit different. It's not today we had a call and blah, 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 blah. It's showing what we're doing, not just telling. That's how you can be really innovative in your marketing. Show, not tell. That goes for content, it goes for everything. Okay. And then lastly, you can be innovative in your delivery. So this links back to what I was saying, partly about what you give your existing clients, but also looking at your offers and thinking to yourself, is there anything in that offer that is actually making the transformation slower or harder or heavier? Like, do I give them a template to use, which actually, if I remove that template, it would make the whole system a lot simpler? Be as simple as that. Like, are there ways I can surprise and delight a client, like one a week, every single week that they weren't expecting? That's innovation. That's like adding something else to your delivery. Okay. And I've put the example here because I heard this on the radio the other day. Blockbuster made you drive, then search and pay late fees when you took out a video, then a DVD. Those of you old enough here. But Netflix is just like one click at home. Like it's the delivery of it is really innovative. And obviously that's because technology has changed. But what can you do to make something simpler, faster, lighter, more exciting that clients are going to pay for? So those are the lenses that we can look through innovation of. So there's lots to think about, but also it's quite simple. So I want you to like screenshot, take a picture, whatever you want to do. I'll also put this image in the chat later. But these are the questions I want you to like really dive into for each of these. So with package innovation, where in your offer are you delivering in the norm? Okay, the normal way. And are there ways that you could change that, elevate it so it feels exciting and different? With your messaging, this is a great one. If your offer was like a Forbes 100 headline tomorrow, because you are one of the top business women, top 100, what would that headline say? I want you to like get in that mode and create that. And that's going to be one of your extra pieces of homework I've just decided because I want to hear what they're going to say. Marketing, where in your business could your marketing start to become the proof for them to be able to sign, for them to want to sign up? And then delivery, what's one thing you could possibly remove or change from your delivery or from your onboarding process to make your client journey easier? And there might be nothing, which is great because like you're already on top of it. But that's innovating isn't necessarily about changing everything, but it's about thinking about it and analyzing and going deep. And that is why it's so important to have business days where you're working on your business and days where you're in your business with clients or writing content or whatever it might be, and then days where you're thinking about and developing your business. So important. I have those and I try and make sure my clients have those. I say I try because some of them just don't put them in. So just some examples of some of the ways that I did this so you can see it in real life. So one thing that kept tripping my clients up was that with their sales pages, they would always be like, well, what do I put on a sales page? It took hours. It was really hard work. So in my mastermind directory, I put together a framework for writing your sales page copy. I put the strategy and broke down what sales page needs strategically with buyer psychology and why. And then I've given them, I think there's about 4 of my sales pages for different things so that they can use those as modeled templates so they're not starting from scratch. Okay, so that's really like a way of being innovative. one of the other things, which everybody has this question, is clients come with questions or queries about which content to use and like what to do to make sure it converts. So being innovative, that's a terrible screenshot for me in the corner. I recorded a mini training, the Attract, Nurture, Convert framework, and I talked them through the different types of content, when to use how to write each of them, and they then have that in a portal that they can go back to whenever they need it. So it's little things like that. And the call that I was on before here, I was talking with this client about how she could do something similar and be innovative here. So she's creating a client hub of resources, but instead of just thinking, oh, what would be good to put in there? It's like, what questions do you get asked the most? How could you solve them for them before they even have the question? That's a great thing to think about. So, what questions do your clients ask you the most that are like causing them the most struggle and pain? Is there something you could create? Is there something you could do that helps them with that question before they even have it? Like, that's how you get innovative. That's what this kind of thing is. And then I think I put one more example in here, but my computer is going very, very slowly. Again, this is one of my personal top features, but my clients, I think everyone in the world wants to know like their work is optimized and the best it can possibly be before they post it or launch it or send the emails or whatever it might be. So part of my offer, not sure why the pictures are not coming up, but they're not, is the content reviews that I do. Okay, so the content reviews that I do twice a week for any time for one-to-one clients, but for mastermind is twice a week, are really specific. I go into detail. I don't just say, I would change this. I model it. I do Loom videos on like what you could do here, why, whatever. That's innovative. Not everyone offers that. So it's those types of things that you can think, how could I do something like that, but in my business? Okay. And I did put another example in. So 99% of masterminds lack depth, touch points, energy, excitement. You become like one of many in a room, basically. So I put together in-person touch points. I put in my mastermind, I put like challenges all the time to create momentum, energy, sales. This picture hasn't come up. I always say to my clients, if you've got somebody in your DMs and they're interested in like buying and you don't know how to like convert that in the DMs, you message me and it doesn't matter what time of night it is, and like I'm off hours, I will help you convert those people in your DMs. It's those types of things. There's depth, there's personalization in there. Okay. So when we go through all of those things, how can you bring some of that into your offer? So innovation like this is the difference between like the nice to have coaches, service providers, and those must have authorities. Okay. So what, oh, oh, are you all still there? Yeah, something's just come up for Zoom. I'm not sure what just happened. Um, okay. So right now you might be feeling like you've capped yourself at like where you are right now, whether that's a certain number of clients, a certain income level, or whether you're there now or you're thinking that's my possibility, because you still don't necessarily believe it's possible to like get more because you've tried so many times before. Okay. But I want you to make sure that you shift that belief right now, because when you are innovative, okay, my whole Canva seems to have just switched off. So that's all right, because we can go without it, because I'm innovative. 1 second, I'm going to move you over here, all of you. You should now be able to see. Can you all now see? Oh, Christ. Sorry. Bear with. I told you, I do not like technology. Technology just doesn't, some days it doesn't want to work. So, don't know what that is. See all my notes going on right now. Okay. Let me move you back over here. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right. Can you all now see everyone? Yes, good. Okay, we're going with this for a minute. Okay, so basically, um, get my train of thought back. Capping yourself. So you need to, when you're thinking, okay, I don't believe like I can necessarily go further. There are others doing this, there are others doing this. It is innovation that is going to make all the difference for you. It's don't think that you have to be inside this box and you have to stay inside this box because who made the bloody box? Like you can get outside the box, you can create your own mold. And that is how, linked to your She's the One effect, that you are going to be able to stand out. And then tomorrow, we are going into like the piece de resistance. I can't do a French accent. It's French accent with Welsh. Um, we're going into the piece de resistance, which is okay. We know the she's the I know my she's the one effect. I now know how to start making my offers more innovative. So I like that's gonna make me the one as well. But how do I sell it? Like, what does my content now need to do and my messaging? So tomorrow is the best. It is all on content and messaging. Now, it's not, I'm warning you now, it's not the type that you've possibly attended 1,000,001 trainings on before of like, this is authority positioning content, this is problem awareness content, this is this, that, the other, because that's not what's going to help you right now. What is going to help you is the type of content in terms of like, how can I position myself in my content and how can I position my offer in my content so that it sells? The type, problem awareness, authority positioning, doesn't come into it at this point. It's how do you position? How do you bring all of that together? And I'm going to walk you through that process tomorrow. It's possibly going to go up to an hour and a half tomorrow. So I do, just because it's content, it's my favorite topic in the world. There's loads that I've put in it for you. So hopefully you can stay, but if you can't stay, you can catch the replay at the end anyway. But your homework for today is, that's okay, Sarah. Your homework for today is to I'm going to put the specific slide because I can't remember the wording, but basically it is to start getting innovative with your offer. Okay. Whether it is, this isn't like like yesterday where you created like a piece of like a vision board or a storm board or something like that. This is, I want you to start implementing. Like, I want you to start thinking, going through some of those questions. Where can I get more innovative? What could I do slightly different? What could I remove? What could I add? What could I burn down to the ground and start from scratch? Wherever it takes you, lean into that. Give yourself time to do that today. And if you want to upload some notes, if you want to type in so that I can see you've done your homework, if you want to type in your like findings or send a voice note or something like that, feel free. There's no like, be innovative with how you do your homework this week. Be creative with how you do your homework today. But there's so much potential here, and there is so far that you can go with this by just making some really simple tweaks. Okay. So, does anyone have a question that they want to pop in the chat for the last like minute or so linked to this? Or are we all good? Because I'm happy to answer a question. No, I'll give it a second. No. Okay. Well, we've still got the question thread in the chat. Make sure that you ask if you've got a question in there. Please feel free to ask. I can't wait to see your homework. I will go in, I will put in an actual slide on what it is. And remember, there is an extra 50 points up for grabs if you get on your stories today and claim your edge, claim your offer to your ideal clients. Like, just claim why you're the she's the bloody one, and your clients would be daft not to work with you. You can do it in whichever way you want, but I want you to really take this brave action. and tag me in it for your 50 extra points. And Katie, you were late at the beginning. You're currently in first place. Yay! But there's some creeping up on you. All right. Okay. I will see you all in Telegram, my lovelies. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.